everyone loves going out for coffee. It's where you catch up with friends, read a book, or just sit by the window and watch the world go by with a warm cup in your hands. And when you walk into your favorite coffee chain, you expect one thing: a decent, trustworthy cup of coffee. After all, you're paying good money for it. However, there's something most people don't think about. Coffee doesn't just magically appear in your cup. It goes through a long journey, from farms around the world to processing plants, packaging facilities, shipping warehouses, and finally your local cafe. And at every step of that journey, quality can change. That doesn't mean your coffee is dangerous, but it does mean that not all coffee is created equal. Over the years, even major coffee brands have dealt with recalls, quality control issues, and customer complaints that raise questions about consistency and standards. Today, we're breaking down coffee chains that have faced notable quality or consistency issues. And then we'll show you a few chains that are widely praised for their sourcing and freshness. Let's start with a name everybody knows: Dunkin'. Dunkin' is one of the largest coffee chains in the world, which means it relies on a massive supply chain. In recent years, some third-party suppliers connected to Dunkin' products, especially baked goods, have issued recalls due to potential contamination risks. These recalls weren't about brewed coffee itself, but they still highlight how complex large food supply chains can be. Coffee experts also point out that, like all agricultural products, coffee beans can be affected by poor storage conditions before roasting. Issues such as mold growth or quality degradation can occur industry-wide if beans aren't handled correctly, which is why consistent sourcing and testing matter. While Dunkin' meets regulatory safety standards, some critics argue that the company prioritizes speed and volume over bean quality, which may explain why its coffee often ranks lower in taste tests compared to specialty chains. At number 2 is Black Rifle Coffee. In 2021, Black Rifle Coffee issued a voluntary recall for a limited batch of whole bean coffee sold in Tennessee due to the potential presence of plastic fragments from packaging equipment. The FDA classified this as a Class 3 recall, meaning it was unlikely to cause serious harm and the issue was confined to a specific batch. Black Rifle addressed the issue and has not had a similar recall since. However, like many rapidly growing brands, it has faced occasional quality consistency challenges as it expanded production and distribution. This doesn't mean their coffee is unsafe, but it does show how scaling up can introduce new risks if processes aren't tightly controlled. At number 3 is Starbucks. Starbucks has faced scrutiny over acrylamide, a compound that naturally forms when coffee beans are roasted at high temperatures. Acrylamide is found in nearly all roasted coffee, not just Starbucks, and health authorities generally consider typical coffee consumption safe. Starbucks has also received attention more recently for its olive oil-infused oleato drinks. After launch, some customers reported digestive discomfort after consuming them. There was no recall or safety warning issued, but the situation highlighted how experimental menu items can affect customers differently, especially when they include unusual ingredients. Starbucks has also faced lawsuits alleging that its 100% ethical coffee sourcing claims may be misleading. Investigations cited in these complaints claim that some farms certified under Starbucks' CAFE practices program were linked to labor law violations and poor working conditions, despite retaining certification. Separate testing cited in a consumer lawsuit has also alleged the presence of traced, volatile organic compounds in Starbucks' decaffeinated coffee, raising questions about transparency. Though Starbucks disputes these claims and maintains that its products meet all safety and regulatory standards. At number 4 is McDonald's McCafe. McDonald's McCafe coffee is designed for speed and affordability. While many customers enjoy it, others report inconsistent quality depending on location. Common complaints include coffee tasting burnt or overly bitter, often attributed to how long coffee sits on warming plates or how frequently machines are cleaned. Former employees and customers have shared anecdotes online about inconsistent brewing and maintenance practices, though experiences can vary widely from one location to another. In short, McCafe coffee is highly dependent on the individual restaurant. At number 5 is Wendy's. Wendy's coffee is marketed as affordable and made from 100% Arabica beans. However, customer reviews frequently describe it as weak, watery, or lacking depth, especially when compared to competitors like McDonald's or Starbucks. This isn't a safety issue, but rather a matter of flavor, brewing ratios, and consistency. Wendy's focuses more on food than coffee, and it shows in how their coffee is perceived. At number 6 is Big B Coffee. Big B is popular for sweet flavored drinks, but coffee enthusiasts often criticize it for inconsistent brewing and heavy use of syrups, which can mask the actual coffee flavor. At number 7 is Gloria Jean's Coffee. Once known for quality beans, many customers feel the brand has leaned heavily into sugary drinks, making the coffee itself less noticeable. Quality often depends on the individual location. At number 8 is Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons claims to use 100% Arabica beans, but in the US, customers frequently describe the coffee as bitter or watered down. Taste consistency varies widely by location. The good news is that some chains have built strong reputations around sourcing, freshness, and consistency. Caribou Coffee emphasizes ethical sourcing, with most of its beans certified by the Rainforest Alliance. While certification doesn't automatically mean better taste, it does show a commitment to responsible farming practices and supply chain transparency, which often correlates with better bean quality. Founded in 1966, Pete's is widely regarded as one of the pioneers of specialty coffee in the US. Their darker roasting style isn't for everyone, but their consistency and attention to sourcing have earned them a loyal following, and even influenced many major coffee brands that came after them. Phil's Coffee takes a very different approach. Instead of espresso-based drinks, they focus on made-to-order pour-over coffee. Beans are ground fresh for each cup, allowing for better control over flavor and aroma. It's slower, but that's the point. Blue Bottle has built its reputation on freshness. They emphasize short roast-to-cup timelines and careful brewing standards, which helps preserve flavor clarity. Even after being acquired by Nestlé, Blue Bottle continues to operate with strict quality guidelines at its cafes. Here's the real takeaway. Most coffee from major chains is safe to drink, but safety isn't the same as quality. Big chains focus on speed, convenience, and consistency at scale. Smaller or specialty-focused chains tend to prioritize sourcing, freshness, and brewing technique. The next time you order a coffee, the question isn't just, is this safe? It's, how was this coffee grown, roasted, and brewed? Because when it comes to coffee, what's in your cup and how it got there makes all the difference. Now we want to hear from you. Which chain do you think has the best coffee? And which one disappoints you every time? Drop a comment below, like the video, and subscribe for more food and drink breakdowns. Until next time, take care.